the hardest things to find in a band, or one of the hardest things to record, rather, is drums. And if you've got a bass and guitar recording, or rather just a guitar like I have here, you might want to add a preliminary drum track. You might want to put in a drum track that you made yourself, because you don't want to use just the built-in loops that this comes with. I mean, that's cool, you can do that as a demo, but let's say that you actually have a specific drum pattern in mind. So what I do is I come right here where it says the 70s kit. This is the main track. This track can also be switched here. And I choose an Ultrabeat kit, and I choose any one of these Ultrabeat drum kits. I can choose, let's say, Drum and Bass Kit 1. I choose Ultrabeat, so this right here your I.O. has to be an Ultrabeat drum synth. I use the Ultrabeat drum synth plugin. I think that's the easiest one for me to use, and I use one of the presets that's on there already, and you can actually tweak from there. So you double click on Ultrabeat, and it gives you this whole mess right here. This is the Ultrabeat plugin main interface. You can actually tweak every single parameter of the pre-programmed drum that you have here to make it your own, and you can save it. So you can actually have a non-royalty drum sound that you yourself have just made completely off of using one plugin and not having to record an entire drum set. So you get into here and you're like, alright, that's awesome. What do I do? These right here, these blue rectangles, are different drum beats that you can use at different times, and you can click on these keys here. To see exactly what each of them sounds like. And you're like, alright, that's awesome. How do I input that into the beats? You click right over here where it says full view, and you'll see that it already has some pre-clicked beats anyway, and I kind of wish it didn't do this, but alright, let's just remove each one of these beats because I want to show you how to do this completely from scratch. Once you get rid of all of these, you look at the BPM that you have. You look at you make sure that the BPM, again, this is when the BPM comes into play, because the drum beat that you're going to be making here is going to correspond to the beats per minute that you've set your recording to. So again, it's very important because it'll keep you accurate throughout the entirety of the track. I've seen so many people not set the BPM, record it perfectly, record it without using the metronome, and the songs have been really hard to record over, because you record a song, you're the guitarist, let's say, and you record 2 or 3 guitar lines, and then you have like you have maybe like a scratched bass track. You send that asset over to your friend, and let's say your friend actually runs the song in a BPM, and he records it in the BPM that the song originally was at, which is faster than the asset that you sent to him. Makes it impossible for you to record with that person, so you always want to set your BPM the way that you want it to. So let's say that this right here, these are all the bars, these are the drum tracks, everything is right here for you to start making. So what you do is you hit, let's say I want a kick. I like that kick. So this kick comes in at 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to skip a measure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to skip that. Let's say I want to put a snare. Again, you can actually spend a lot more time on this, but you know, just for time constraint, I'm going to put a snare on all 4 of the 4 on the floor beats. So, if you hit this play button here, so you can see that, you know, it'll correspond to the best of its ability. Obviously, I have to do more tweaking to it. So it sounds like a techno beat right now. It doesn't sound like a real drummer, so it's going to sound like you had a drum machine go with it. So what you do is you want to kind of up the swing here, and this is more for the higher sounds. This is more for the hi-hat, the cymbals, things like that. You want to move this swing up pretty high. I have it at 70%. And what you want to do is you want to take these velocity gates, and you want to move them up and down. Every single drummer, when they play, not every single hit is at the same volume, because you might have, maybe, let's say you got the 2 kick drums here. The first kick drum might be a little softer, setting up for the second kick drum. And so you'll see that there's a difference in noise there. Same thing with the snare. Maybe the first snare hit is a lot louder than the second snare hit. And you do that to probably almost all of them. You can move in the gate, your velocity goes down. Moving it left to right is the gate, moving it up and down is the velocity. Some of these you might want to just keep the same, some of these you just bring down even more. And let's say keep these the same, just move the gate down complete, and let's see what we got here. Alright, bit difficult to hear through the computer, but there is a volume difference on these on each beat here, so it does make it sound a little bit more real. And of course, I'm using a drum and bass kit. You can use an acoustic kit that can make it sound even more real, so you virtually don't have to have a drummer for every single part of your recording, and so it kind of gets rid of that hassle. Also, you can make it 1/8, 1/12, 1/16, 1/24, 1/32 resolution, so you can actually change the bits. You can make the length. You can actually change the length here completely. Everything that you need for your drums is right here, but Ultrabeat is a really great plugin that is made in Logic that does a great job. So once you X out of the Ultrabeat plugin, you'll see that there's nothing here. But if you play it back from the beginning, the drum beat is still in the background. The reason it does that is because it's not saved as a MIDI, it's not saved as an MP3, it's not saved as a track, it's just something that you programmed inside of a machine that is just connected to this track. So what you can do is you can duplicate with Command D the same track, and then put wherever this track ends, start a new drum track right here, and so on and so forth until you have a decent sized drum line for the entire thing.